Each week I struggle with the top 10 list because I'm torn, right? Or is it the top 10 horses I believe we have right now? Is it the top 10 horses from that particular day? One of our best horses made a break. One of our, in this case, 4 of our better horses are turned out for a week, right? Lonely Lakewood just got his throat done, so he didn't go. Insider Trading and Flashfly and Drebin were out in the field in Ontario. They didn't go. But there are other horses that trained well. So I think what I'm going to do is just give it like a top 10. The horses that caught my eye. Horses I think are on the move. Whether horses that had been good and are getting better, or horses that are coming out of nowhere. Horses that were just strong this week training. So I don't really know what to call the top 10 list. There are top 10 horses that caught my eye this week. Horses on the move. Maybe that's the way to go. But I do want to bring you a list because I think it's worth mentioning when horses do a great job in any kind of week. A lot of these horses have been doing great for a while. But to see them move and do their work the way they did, I flip-flopped on 1 and 2 this week simply because the horse I put at number 1 has been good for a while, but was exceptionally good this week. Whereas number 2, I think, was the best trainer this week and has been good for a good 3 or 4 weeks. But again, hasn't quite reached that status that the other horse did. So let me get to it. Call it whatever you want. These are horses that caught my eye today, this week, horses that I thought trained fantastic. Now coming in at number 10 is Pickpocket. He was like 4th or 5th, but locked in solid. Daryl didn't give him any room in the stretch. And Joey just kind of sat there. This is a horse that I think we're going to have quite a conversation along the way as to where he starts. I think he's never been sick. He's never had any issues. He's training great. He will be ready to go mid-June if we wanted to go to, unless something happens between now and then. But he will likely be ready in June if we want to go to Oak Grove with him. But is that too early to start him? Is that going to take away from the middle of the year? We paid him into a lot. And this, as I said in my opening statement this week, my opening video, this is also a dialogue to have. You only have so many starts, and it's unlikely that a horse can stay fresh from June all the way to November. Do we go and get the money in Oak Grove if it's there and we can win? Or do we simply wait, start him later, and focus on the Breeders' Crown later in the year? I don't know the answer to that. Every horse is different. Every situation is different. So again, I think a dialogue surrounding Pickpocket and also the other filly, a different situation kind of with the other Tactical Landing filly, Lover's Play, but similar in sense. So number 10, Pickpocket. That's who I have at number 10. Where's my number 9 horse? I see number 8. Oh, I see number 9. Number 9 is Sweeney. Sweeney, I think, is going to climb the ladder. I knew this horse had talent, and I knew he had power, but I didn't know he could put it together quickly and as well as he did this week. His hobbles were long this week. His head was low, and we went out to do our work. I moved him a couple of times because I wanted to stretch him out a little bit in the middle of the mile, just to make sure he didn't make a break or get out of gear in the last turn. And in the last turn, I was pinned in, 5th along the rail. The horse second over, fanned out 3 wide. Mounts for All, fanned out 3 wide. The horse clearing to the front was kind of holding his ground, and I kind of shoved Eric over a little bit. He was driving Mounts for All. With Sweeney, when I got clearance, he was all business through the wire. Not only did he clear to the front, he opened up, drove away, and then I did have a video. God love her. She took some videos of the horses, but she was sitting in the bleachers, and you had to look through the plexiglass dirty window for part of the mile, and then as they went right in front of you, she got a little view of them, and she was talking and singing. I just didn't post the videos. But in the video, Sweeney, by the time I had got to that area where the people can sit at Northfield in the middle of the turn after the mile, he had opened up 5 lengths on them, hit 6 lengths, and looked very, very strong, and he was very strong yesterday. Sweeney comes in at 9, but a horse that I have every belief will climb the ladder very, very soon. Number 8, Irresistible Sun, another horse, top will climb the ladder. This guy has put it all together. I didn't realize when I said Pickpocket got locked in and Daryl had not given him any room. I had won the set with Mel Gibson, and there's horse coming on the far outside, and I knew at the wire, I'd won the set, but I knew at the wire it was Irresistible Sun. I didn't know where he came from. Darrell was 3 wide all the way around the last turn and closing in on me at the wire, and we were smoking. I trotted the last half at 110 or 111, so he had to come his last half at 108, 109, and look very, very good doing it. So another horse that I believe is going to continue to climb the ladder is Irresistible Sun, number 7, Sedona Hill. We're starting to get a little deep now. Sedona Hill has been awesome all along, and maybe her best training trip of her life was on Saturday. Eric, she made a little break sitting in behind me, goofing around, but we were just walking slow. And when she cleared back to the front, put her mind to work, she was good. He said she was straight, wasn't running in, wasn't a little rolly in the turns. And I told him after, I said, that's a little telling. The track is quite deep. They just dug it up. Could it be that something's biting her a little bit? We'll see. We'll keep a very close eye on her moving forward, but an easy kind of winner. Again, 231 or 232, I believe, last half, 110, 111, and did it very, very easy. Sedona Hill is definitely on the move and has been for a while. Mel Gibson, I think he has not put forth his best effort yet. Not attitude-wise. I just think he's got a lot of growing. He's still got full flip-flops on. We'll put a cutout kind on him, or maybe even take them right off of him also. He has looked very, very good of late. Very happy with what I've seen from Mel Gibson, and just the way he's trotting, I still think he's reserving himself a little bit, which is fine. That's all right. He will put forth a true effort as we get closer to that May, June, that time frame when we start to really push on the horses a little bit. Really like what I see from this guy. One of our top prospects right now is Mel Gibson. Number 5 is Time Is On My Side Now. You can only imagine how the next 4 are going to look. If Time Is On My Side is sitting in 5th right now, this horse crushed them training on Friday and looked extremely good finishing up his mile. Head down, hobbles are out really long, and looking for more. All business training on Friday, and really, really impressed with the way this horse has looked. He has been better, obviously, since we took the flip-flops off. There was no doubt that was going to happen. But the way he's come around has been impressive. Really, really impressed with Time Is On My Side. Now, we're getting to the meat of the order. Number 4, Winter Bells. Winter Bells has been great all along. I made a break the other day with Ready for Landing and kind of scattered her and the horse Danny was going with. It might have been Mick Paisley, maybe. It was Mick Paisley. They got scattered a little bit behind me, but Winter Bells has just been razor sharp all along. Just really training down like a smart filly. Not getting hot, but still can have days where she's super competitive. I said it again. Super competitive where, she wants to get at it. But very strong, very fast, and has been very, very durable training down. A really nice filly there. Number three, Affection. She's been number 1 for quite a while, and for all intents and purposes, aside if we were looking any more long range than what I tried to articulate at the start of this video, then she would be number 1. She is one of our top prospects and has been. Well, when it comes to the top 2 horses this week, these are 2 horses that just looked very powerful this week. One has been good for a while, and Affection got beat. Was 3rd or 4th in this set now. He was a pacer. She's a trotter. But when I just looked at everything that went on this week and how the horses looked, I think Affection comes in at number 3, but easily could be put at number 1 again if we were talking about any sort of long-range forecasting. Number 2, Memory and Imagination. This horse has just toyed with us. I thought I had everybody in a position where they weren't going to get the No Chance in Hill. They couldn't get the No Chance in Hill. He was just going to be too good today on Saturday. He was going to be too much. The math, the fractions, everything was put everything in my corner. And when we come out of the last turn, Memory and Imagination, it's just made it to my saddle, where my saddle pad would be. And I figure I'm going to win. He's going to be a close second. Oh Snap You is in behind me. She'll be a close third. Good training set. We got about halfway down the lane, and Memory and Imagination just sauntered right by me. We were going lots. He just drove away. There's nothing I could do. And I didn't want to stretch out, I'm not going to stretch out No Chance in Hill just for the sake of a training trip. He was on the left line of it, finishing up. He's a big, heavy colt. He was doing all he could. I didn't think there was any need to ask for any more. And Daryl didn't appear to be asking for very much for memory and imagination. He just overpowered us and drove away. He looked exceptionally good. This is like 3 or 4 training sets in a row where he just jogged in various ways. He swept the field in one set, first over yesterday. I don't think he's been on the front, nor does he have to be. He was very, very good yesterday in training and has really caught my eye, and will catch everybody's eye when we do get the videos on them. We do still have to look at the weather for that. And then number one, a horse that we've been waiting. He has those moments where he breaks out, where he just looks powerful and strong and attentive. And yesterday was one of those days. Cowboy by the Sea has been good. Has won a number of training sets. Has looked really good, but looked powerful yesterday. I ducked him to the inside of Venice Blue Chip, and within a blink of an eye had 3 lengths on the field. Venice Blue Chip had just put a step in, so that obviously helped. But going under the wire, he was a wrapped up winner and paced all the way through the turn into the backstretch and then let up, and that's exactly what I want to see. He's really starting to figure it all out. He's really starting to look good. I was really happy with Cowboy by the Sea. You talk about a horse that was 1 or 2 last week. Arson didn't even make the list. I'll tell you the horses that I had trouble with a lot of them. The ones I had marked off. Royal Emeralds was awesome again yesterday. Militant, I'm Fancy Like, all were absolutely great training yesterday. No Chance in Hill was great training yesterday. Gypsy Hill was fantastic. Lover's Play was fantastic. And Really Don't Care. All those horses can and will be bouncing around top 10 lists from here to June. And they all looked awesome. Every week I try to start my list off as close to 10 as I can. And I don't think I've got below 18 yet, 17 or 18 horses. So then I have to knock 8 off to get to 10. And if I wanted to be really easy about it, I could easily put 29 or 30 on there. The horses were great. Looking at this list, all the horses did their work well. And I was very, very happy with all of them. So with that, that's my top 10 list of horses that did very well this week. I'll talk to you all very soon.